Hello students, myself Snehal Sagre and I am Assistant Professor from KK Institute of Engineering Education and Research, Nasik. Today we are going to see out the concept of smart grid in this session. So let's begin. At the end of this session, you will be able to know what is actually a electrical grid, how we are going to say or derive out the traditional power system design which has emerged and due to which there were many challenges to be covered, or we can say problems arised out, and you can enlist out them and understand and state out the smart grid concept and its advantages. Electrical grid. Today's electrical power grid is over 100 years old. If we see carefully the design and engineering structure, it is consists of a number of operational standards that have been developed to ensure a reliable electricity supply. Electrical grid, or which is sometimes termed to be a power grid, is defined to be a network which interconnects generation, transmission, and distribution unit. It supplies the electrical power from the generating unit to the distribution unit. A large amount of power is transmitted from the generating station to the load center at 220 kV or higher than that. The network formed by this high voltage lines is called to be a supergrid. The supergrid feeds the subtransmission network operating at 132 kV or less than that. But the power station of the grid is located near the fuel source, which reduces the transportation cost of the system, but it is located far away from the populated areas. The electrical grid is mainly classified into two types. One is regional grid and the other is national grid. The regional grid is formed by interconnecting the different transmission system of a particular area through the transmission line. National grid. It is formed by interconnecting the different regional grids. If we refer out the two terms, we find they are formed by interconnection. So, what is the reason for an interconnection? The interconnection of the grid provides the best use of the power resource and ensures great security to the supply. It makes the system economical as well as reliable. The generating stations are interconnected for reducing the reserve generation capacity in an each of area. The types of interconnections in a network are classified into two types. One is HVAC link and the other is HVDC link. HVAC link is high voltage alternating current interconnection and HVDC is high voltage direct current interconnection. Traditional power system designs. This system design was based on a few simple ideas. If we could look at, the first reference was taken for few locations. Electricity generation is centralized in relatively few locations, generated by large power plants that can be easily controlled as needed. On the other hand, it is seen almost designed considering out demand for electricity. Utilities and electricity system operators continuously work to meet for demand for electricity, and this demand is relatively outspread, which occurs at random locations and varying out in magnitudes that change out in a traditional manner and not that can be easily controlled. Next, we can find out is gravity driven water systems. The power system is just like a gravity driven water system where the power flows downhill to electricity users. It is designed to deliver high quality electricity to every user under all but extreme conditions. And this delivery is controlled for the most part at the generating system station site. On the other side of the design aspect, we can find energy flows in one direction in the distribution network, that is from the sources of supply to the electricity consumers. But somehow we face some of the challenges. So, challenges of today's evolving electricity grid could be seen out at a side. So, one of it is a renewable generation which is intermittent and difficult to control. So, how is it? So, if we refer renewable energy resources which are as a part of smart grid, if we consider the wind does not always blows, and if we see out the side of solar, the sun does not always shine out when each of the customer requires up with the electricity. So, if we could find out, although there are low cost of source of clean and renewable energy, these resources may inject out power into the grid at the times and the locations that can create difficulty for the grid operators. Problems can also arise because there are random changes in the voltage on the distribution feeders, and there are issues with the fault detection and unwanted generation capacity, which all affect the reliability and the sustainability of the grid. Nextly, energy consuming equipment is changing out with the advent of new technology. As in the older section, we have seen the older electrical equipment such as incandescent lights, heaters, and motors were designed to react to change in voltage and or the frequency. But in fact, conservation voltage reduction is based on this concept. By reducing the system voltage, the electricity demand from these devices will be reduced as well. So newer electronic devices do not respond to the changes in system voltage or frequency level, and they now dominate many homes. They include out computer, LEDs, entertainment systems and other devices. Nextly, new protection system and technologies come up with a challenge as they are enabled out with the modern power grid to deliver more power than has ever been possible. If we consider new wire technology that has enabled existing wires to handle higher electricity current for short period of time, this can increase losses that can be more than 4 times the normal. So, it is seen while convenient and beneficial for today's grid, this type of technologies have played a role in increasing the overall system losses from 5 to 7% or 9 to 12%. Problems with the current grid. If we could find out, there are many infrastructural problems which are arising due to the fact that the system is outdated and unfit to deal with the increasing demand. Information and transparency for the customers should be having out to be maintained up with the decisions which are relative to the market, as the need is there for more information and transparency for the customers to know how the optimal decisions are being taken relative to the market so as to reduce their consumption during the most expensive peak hours. Also, the problem of inflexibility related to current grid is being seen out, which cannot be supported the developing of renewable energies or other forms of technologies that would make it more sustainable. All of these problems are addressed and could be seen now to be covered at a side by the origination of smart grid through the improved communication technology which gives up numerous benefits for both supply and demand sides of electricity market. Smart grid. In simple word, we can define it as a smart electrical network that combines electrical systems and smart digital communication technology. It is self-sufficient electric power network system which are based on digital automation technology for monitoring, control and analysis within the supply chain. One of the standard definition which we can refer for smart grid is a smart grid is an electricity network that can be intelligently integrate the actions of all the users connected to it, generators, consumers, and those that do both, in order to efficiently deliver the sustainable, economic, and secure electricity supplies. Smart grids are considered to be smart because they support renewable technologies. As a part, they help to integrate an increasing amount of renewable energy generation into the grid. They manage moves and the outages. Smart grid help the network companies to remotely anticipate and respond to problems, so they repair the crews from your local distributor and fix the power outages more faster. They can empower the consumers. As we have the use of smart technological advanced gadgets or one sort of smart meters, we can work in a tandem with an smart grid to give customers access to the near real-time information about their energy consumption and in turn understand the control over it in a better manner. Let us see now what are the objectives. So the smart grid system integration process shares three common objectives. First is promoting or promote customer choice. So to promote customers with the information, rates and pricing along with the technological updates that will allow them to make a better usage and take up proper decisions. The next objective is seen as improving reliability. Use of automation on the grid and in the customer premises as well as alternative generation options could be taken to improve the system reliability and also stability. The third objective we can see out is to integrate the renewables and support alternative for the generation and storage options that can minimize or sometimes reduce an environmental impacts and also help to improve the overall system efficiency and reduce the carbon based fuel usage could be considered. A confluence of factor is driving the need for investment. Smart grids have the ability to fundamentally change the way people interact with their electricity supply. So based on the consideration, a smart grid will exhibit 7 key characteristics. So let us see one by one. The first one comes up is self-healing and resilient. So a smart grid will perform real-time self-assessments to detect, analyze and respond to the subnormal grid conditions. Along with it, it has thorough integrated automation system. It will self-heal, restore the grid components or entire sections of the network if they become damaged. It will also remain resilient by minimizing the consequences and speeding up the time to service restoration. So by this means you can find out the grid rapidly detects, analyzes and responds as well as restores to the normal operation. The next characteristics what we can find out is integration of advanced and low carbon technologies. A smart grid will exhibit plug and play, scalable and interoperable capabilities. A smart grid will also permit a higher transmission and distribution system. Penetration of renewable generation. Example if we could take is wind or a photovoltaic solar energy resources, distributed generation and energy storage which could be said to be micro generation. So to mitigate out the intermediate nature of renewable generation, the smarter grid can leverage also embedded storage to smooth the output levels. So such networks will allow society to optimize the use of low carbon energy sources which support the efforts to reduce the carbon intensity of the transport sector and minimize the collective environmental footprint. The third characteristics we can find out is enabling out the demand response. So by extending the smart grid within the home, that is through home area network, consumer appliances and devices can be controlled remotely, allowing for demand response as in the event of peak in demand or a central system operator would be having a potential control for both, that is the amount of power generation feeding which is into the system and the amount of demand drawing from the system. The fourth characteristics we can refer is assets optimization and operational efficiency. So a grid will enable better asset utilization from the generation side along the way to the consumer's endpoint. It will also enable the condition and performance based maintenance time to time. As it is seen, grid will operate out closer to its operational limits, freeing up with the additional capacity from the existing infrastructures. The next characteristics we can refer is customers inclusion. Grid involves up consumers, engaging them as active participants in the electricity market. It will also help them to empower the utilities to match evolving consumers' expectation and deliver greater visibility and choice in energy purchasing. In a world where consumer expectations and requirements are growing, smart grid will help to educate the average consumer with the foster innovation in energy management services and also reduce the cost and environmental impact of the delivery of electricity. Further to it, we can refer the next characteristics as power quality. A smart grid will have heightened in power quality, also along with reductions with the occurrence of distortions of power supply. As the load demands increases on and on with the exponential path, power quality degradation will manifest as more of an issue. In return to this, requiring with distributed monitoring and proactive mediation. So this influence we can find out will decrease up in tolerance for power quality variances along with which is seen out for a graph for modern industry. And the last one characteristics which we can refer is market empowerment. A smart grid will provide greater transparency and availability of energy market information. It will also enable more efficient, automated management of market parameters, in which we can see it can cover such as changes of capacity and enable some of the exploration of new products and the services. So you can find out it will shift the utility from a commodity provider to a service provider. Let us now focus on what are the technical capabilities that deliver a smart grid. So layers of technical capability will be applied to a power grid to deliver this smart grid characteristics. One of it is secure and ubiquitous communications. So in short, you can call it as a resilient system. It includes being a resilient, a two-way digital communication infrastructure exhibiting appropriate bandwidth and latency, which is enabling out communications from generation source to consumer's endpoint. So which we have already seen. The second comes up is embedded sensing, automation and control. In this, we can find out there is monitoring, and along with the sensors, we can manage up the voltage and current levels, or we can regulate out the parameters more than them. Automated switches and controls, we can use up microprocessing capabilities to enable electricity network to respond to real-time conditions. Along with this, we can find out to next label automated real-time optimization could be preferred up. In this advanced monitoring, sensing and controls we can acquire up with some of the decision support algorithms. Low latency communication to support active load balancing and self-correct for interruptions and power quality issues in real-time system could be considered. Enhanced design and predictive monitoring. In this, asset data collection, analytics, and advanced visualization techniques could be integrated in to the utility enterprise systems to provide the tools to optimize the network planning and predict out and also respond to anticipate out any kind of equipment failure if it is. Distributed generation and demand response. Simplified interconnection standards which are having two-way power flow capabilities and which are more effective for load balancing techniques that allow distributed generation and energy storage which can be incorporated seamlessly into transmission and also along with transmission in distribution network. Energy management systems will track the balance of supply and demand on the network and control consumer devices to optimize 24-hour energy consumption. So let us now see a small comparison between the traditional grid and smart grid. So first of all, what we can find, the monitoring and protection system which is taken for traditional grid is mostly seen out to be having electromechanical nature, and in smart grid it is of digital type of system. Here we have the type of communication which can be seen is in between the grid and the customer is one way, whereas in smart grid it is having a two-way communication which is among the customer and the grid. If we could proceed out, The power generation which is taken out in the traditional grid approach, it is with the centralized control, but here it is distributed power generation control. So for example, you can have in traditional, it is a thermal power plant role which we can see, but here we can see the role of small scale distributed generation, which includes most of the renewable energy resources. If we could focus on the type of monitoring system which is being taken out for judging out the real-time data and critical parameters, in traditional grid we have a small number of sensors to be included in overall system. Whereas in smart grid we have hundreds of sensors who are working out with the collection of data in the overall system layout. The type of monitoring system which is being taken out for every sort of approach, it is having a manual approach of monitoring, but still there are many processes where we have to go with this manual monitoring. As in smart grid, we can see out that automatic monitoring system or processes are being adapted up. So as we see out, many of the monitoring processes are done out manually. So the process of recovery is also seen out is on the manual basis, and here it is on the basis of automatic. So here the failure and outages which are frequent, which are not avoidable in the real time situation, which are always focused on with the traditional grid. So such type of example we can find out the recently power outage which was in Mumbai, for example. But in smart grid, the adaptive and islanded mode is easily approachable and could be working out with the current system topology which can be operating with the failure or power outage mode. Here we have only few number of users which are optionable for the usage, but here you have more number of users which are optioned out. Here we can have the example for MACB, but here you can have the private sector generation stations which are like Reliance, Adani Group, Tata Group and all. So this is how a short summarization of your traditional grid which comes up with the role of phasing of smart grid. Let us see the advantages of smart grid. The smart grid provides better power management technologies through its integrated system. This provides a better user interference. Along with it, it gives better protective management system in case of emergencies. It also provides a better supply and demand management. It has reduced the carbon emission technology. Also, a better quality power, lowest cost of operation, maintenance, and management for both utility and the consumer is being seen out. It provides more efficient and improved security and protection. Reading out the meters remotely has given out the convenient manner through the smart grid. Meter readers will not have to appear physically to check the meter readings. It will be all done through the IT resources. The applications of the smart grid could be further stated out in quick recovery after any disturbances in the transmission network, reduction of the generation cost, reduction in the peak demands, as they improve the adaptiveness of transmission network. They possess the ability to integrate other renewable energy sources through distributed generations and the microgrids.